All right, everybody, welcome back to the Digital Contractor Podcast. This is episode 8, and as you guys that are watching this episode can see, I have a new co-host today. I have a real special guest for you guys today. I have Miranda Rowe from our team with me today, and Miranda is the Director of Performance Management for Lead Revenue. And really, we wanted to kick off the conversation today by just talking about, client experience, customer experience when it comes to digital marketing, and especially for contractors. It is something that's really important. And I think that in general, it's something that from what we hear from clients that we are, working with or starting to work with or starting a business relationship with, many of them have had a bad experience in the past with digital marketing companies. And so we wanted to just, kind of set the table for, first and foremost, what it's like to work with Lead Revenue, but also to give anybody out there that is shopping for or looking for a digital marketing partner kind of a baseline of what that really should look like and some of the things that we believe you should be looking for in your digital marketing partner. So, Miranda, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Brian. I really appreciate you having me on.
So when it comes down to, the way that we onboard customers or the way that, we are managing these relationships in an ongoing fashion, right? The check-in points once we get moving with a client. What do you see as the biggest differentiator, from the customers that you talk to? What is the biggest differentiator that they see that they really like that we do that maybe they haven't experienced somewhere else?
Yeah, certainly. A great point already that you've made is, kind of reversing that sort of predisposed, idea of digital marketing companies that a lot of the contractors that we work with have coming in. So from the get-go, we want to make sure that we open all lines of communication. So across the board, I can speak for everyone on our team. We truly try to be, easy to get a hold of and to reach out to with, any issues from the start of the process through, we have several clients we've worked with now for, over a year that we still want to make sure that we are checking in on, month to month, or even some of our clients we talk to, weekly. So, really that, open line of communication is something we try to establish early on. And then from that point forward, we can truly build that relationship so that we can understand that business, understand that client, so that we can really set forth goals if they don't even have those yet for the digital marketing, right? Some of our clients have maybe never experienced digital marketing and don't know what to expect. So we can get to know them from the very beginning, really understand where they want their business to go and grow and help them get there.
Yeah, I think you said something there that kind of triggered something in my mind. And that is, this concept of, a marketing company kind of coming from the set it and forget it approach. And that is not something that is a good thing in marketing, right? You have to keep your eye on the ball. Like the market is changing, your competitors are changing. In some cases, if people are doing Google AdWords, for example, your competitors could ratchet up what they're spending and it could completely change the landscape of the performance of your account and the results that you're getting. And so I think it's really important for people to realize that, one of the things I wanted to key in on here is that it is, and you mentioned the relationship there, it really is a two-way street, right? Like, it's not just hiring a marketing company, paying whatever amount of money that you're paying per month in order to get those services. And that just kind of goes off your plate as a client too, right? It takes that partnership. And so my next question is, what do you see the very best clients that we have at Lead Revenue, the ones that are getting the best results, I should say? What are the common traits that you see in them that kind of produce that from their side in addition to what we do?
Oh, yeah, great question. There's a lot of good components of those clients in their business or businesses. Some of them represent several different businesses. So we, again, we really try to welcome that communication. So when we're, setting this all up, we let the client know from the get-go that you truly are going to get out what you put in. As much as we can do to facilitate the digital marketing, aspects, we want, content. Your audiences that are looking for your services or whatever industry that you're in, they want to see you and they want to know that you're a real person or a real business. You're representing other real businesses and real people, and you're solving their problems, right? And you've got the solution to whatever it is. So we want to make sure that early on when you are working with us, that content is gold. And the businesses that are doing it right are showing up. And they're showing up with relevant, again, solutions to these problems that folks are having, which we know has been ever changing just in the past 2 years. Been very different than they've ever been. Some of these businesses are experiencing years they've never had before. So those businesses and clients that are doing well because they continue to show up. They want their business to grow. I think that's a huge thing too. So they're willing to invest in it. I'm a big plant person and I like, in my spare time, so I always try to relate it to that. And so these clients that I see doing well are like the plants that I put the most time into, and care about from the get-go. Maybe I've spent a little bit more money or I've spent a little more time, to really figure out how to optimize that growth and what it's going to take. And truly, the clients that I see being the most successful are doing the same. They're putting the time in from the beginning. They know and they're listening. So they know and they want to learn what it takes to really grow their business.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. It's such a great point. You hit on a couple things there that are really important. And that is, the world of marketing has completely changed in the last year and change, right? Like it has had more emphasis put on it. What people are looking for, as we rely more on the digital world, it becomes even more important than ever. It's always been important, but it's really front and center on how people want to get to know a company, like how people actually want to view you. And so it's part of the reason why we do this podcast, right? We try to bring a human element to, who are you going to be working with? For those people who are out there that are, looking for a digital marketing company to work with, being able to watch this episode and see who they might be interacting with is extremely helpful, right? To get to know me, to get to know you, to get to know the rest of our team as we go through these episodes. And I think that, that is a really great point. It's like, how do you put yourself out there in a way that people get to know, like, and trust you in a digital format before they meet you in person? And sometimes in a lot of cases, you don't even meet the people that you're doing business with in person anymore, right? It sounds weird to even say that, but it's the reality of business in 2021 is that we don't always get to spend time and space with those people that we're doing business with. And so I think it's really important for people to realize that, it does take effort. It does take producing that content. It does take, those open lines of communication to build a great relationship with whatever marketing company that you're working with. Because you've got to give them the information and the tools to ultimately be able to be successful with. And the more you give them, to your point, the more you're able to optimize that growth and go a lot faster and get a better ROI on your own investment, right? So absolutely. I think that's just really, really important points that you touched on there. So, everybody wants to know, what does it look like, if I become a customer of digital marketing? Because one of the main concerns I think that people have when they're switching digital marketing companies, or they're thinking about making a move, or they're with one, they're not happy and they want to move, but it seems like a grueling task to do that. Why don't you touch on real quick kind of how we try to streamline that process for people and really make it as easy as possible for them to onboard, and then get into kind of how we keep those meetings going as they become an active website and an active customer on the performance side of things, how we keep them informed on how things are going.
Yeah, sure. So from our clients that come in without anything at all, no GMB or Google My Business page, no website set up, maybe no social presence at all either. From that client to the up other extreme, has a nice social presence already established, or maybe a Google My Business page that's already working very well, or even a website. From that client to the other, we really try to keep it as simple as possible. When you come on, we're going to make sure that you have a website that we build for you to suit your industry best. And that's something we take great pride in from the very get-go. So even if you do have a website, we're still going to make sure that you get something from us that we're proud of, and that's going to represent your business, as best as possible. Of course, lead conversion is a big deal too. So from the get-go, we want to make sure you're set up for success. So again, we start off, that same client doesn't have anything, to the client who thinks they have everything already. We're going to hopefully scale them to greater, right? So then that client that maybe is just clueless coming on board, we do go ahead and give them forms and sort of a systemized, way of getting passwords and whatnot that we might need to obtain maybe the domain that they might have set up but didn't do anything with. So from those minor details to even the bigger picture, like, what do you want your website to look like? We try to go through that process and say, here's some things that we have produced in the past. Here's some businesses that are doing well with us already. Maybe we can, bounce ideas off of one another from that point. Moving from that point, if we have this, client who comes in with a good bit of digital marketing already established, whether it be a website or Google My Business page, they might already have these, sort of ideas of what they want to look like, have a logo already and, ready to go. So it does make that process a little bit easier, or faster, I should say. But again, if you come in with absolutely nothing, we try to give you everything that you need to really set it up for success, just based on what we've done already with the other clients. That gives us a good sort of arsenal of things, or tools, so to speak, to really set everybody up well. After that point, once we get everything launched, which we try to do, under 60 days at best, I feel like that's even a real stretch. I've seen us, get the website and everything up and rolling for our clients in under 30 days, which I think is just remarkable, to be quite honest, especially with what's produced. But for these clients, it's really important to get them in the digital space as quickly as possible, but also, have it be effective too. So, after that, we want to make sure that we're touching base with those clients at least on a monthly basis, if not, again, sooner. I set up performance calls, again, on a monthly basis, but some of my clients, they know they can reach out to me anytime during that month. But those monthly calls are set up so that we do get to look at reports and data, analyze Google, data, the analytics of your website traffic to lead conversion rate. We set up forms and, sort of methods of getting those leads to your website. So we want to go over how that's happening, what's happening, the success, and then of course the pain points too. We want to discuss those and be real with our clients so that we can both learn and really optimize that site moving forward. It's a very vast sort of landscape to really discuss in just that one answer, but we really do try to, bring our clients in and then again, make sure that we're meeting with them on at least a monthly basis to keep them up to date and to keep us, sort of touching on every account as often as we can.
Yeah, I think it's great. You touched on a lot of good points there. For me, it's very easy for me to explain this because I was a client before I was part of Lead Revenue. And, one of the things that really was a big selling point, after doing the demo and talking with Brett and really seeing the vision of what it would look like, was actually the simplicity of how easy they made it for us to get our site up and running. I used the analogy early on of I felt like it was like buying a website from Chick-fil-A, it was like just this systematic approach. Yeah. That all I had to do was check boxes and send in the things that were requested. And it was literally immediately, taken care of and very quickly and efficiently, and revisions and things like that are done really expedited. And so speaking from the client side of things, it's a really powerful experience to have because, in a lot of cases, that's the total opposite of what people have, right? There's so much heavy lifting that goes into the front end of it. And it doesn't have to be that way, right? And so when it's systematized the way that you just described, it does make it easier for people. And it kind of gives them that peace of mind that like, hey, making this switch is not going to be, something I have to wait until the off season to do, because a lot of people think that, they don't want to make the switch midstream because they're afraid like, hey, I don't have 20 hours this week to dedicate to, getting you information. And I just want people to know, that doesn't have to be that way. And you should be asking, if you're communicating with a digital marketing company, you should be asking, what does that process look like? And they should be able to walk you through that. And it should sound fairly simple. There are going to be things that are required of you, but it shouldn't be like you doing the heavy lifting, right? And so, from the onboarding standpoint, that's one point that I wanted to make. And then the ongoing performance management, again, I would encourage people to, you described the monthly calls and reviewing all that stuff. I would argue as well that, the person that is keeping tabs on that through Google My Business, through the channels that they have to kind of monitor their own traffic, if they can, the more that they know about that, the better their experience is going to be, right? So the more they get into those numbers, the more they're engaged on that call that they have with the performance managers, the better their results are going to be. And the more that communication is clear and the messaging of the company, what are we trying to get across? Who are our target clients? And really just continuing to work on that, right? Again, going back to this concept that a lot of people have, set it and forget it is not a good marketing strategy. No. It has to constantly be evolving. And so from that standpoint, I just commend you guys because you do such an amazing job at, making sure that, clients' questions are answered. One of the biggest things that I am proud of at Lead Revenue is the level of transparency that we operate with,
Sure.
Anything that they want to know, they have access to. We can get them answers. Brett does a phenomenal job of explaining exactly how things work when something doesn't necessarily always make sense to people. And so, I think it's such a great process that people go through. What would you say, you've been in marketing for quite some time. What are some of the differentiators that you see that really stand out to our customers that they like about the processes that we follow and the results that they're getting?
Yeah, so on the marketing standpoint, something we really try to do is scale your Google My Business page, optimize that. A lot of contractors that I've discussed this with don't even realize that's something important. They don't see that as part of the digital marketing strategy at all. And it's everything. A lot of our contractors represent a local small business. And if you're not optimizing that Google My Business profile, you're not showing up. I don't care how great your website is, how much you paid for it, and how much you're still paying that digital marketing company to run your site. It's not going to work as well if you're not doing both. So just that alone, it has been a game changer for a lot of our clients. And this is in several different industries, not just one specifically. So I'm sort of speaking to that more than just, honing in on one industry or another. So from that, though, we also try to talk about strategies that we can make that better. So ways we can say, okay, you have this Google My Business page. Now we want to get people to it. We want people to see it. So we also discuss that with the client too. And these aren't things that you can just sort of Google and find out. It's things that we've learned by really working and getting in the nitty gritty with these clients and their Google My Business pages. On the website end and really trying to get the leads to the site. We also try to optimize the website itself to speak to your audience and your clients. If they come to that site, are they getting a message? Are they receiving a message that, again, is speaking to their problems? If I show up to a website, I want to know that this business is going to do what I'm needing, what I came here for, right? I can't tell you how many times, because I, shop online, who doesn't, right? But especially now, but I get on a website and I don't know where to click to find, especially for my daughter, find the kids' clothes. I go there first. Then it makes me feel better if I do buy myself something. So, where do I find that? If I only see things or, advertisements and whatnot on their site of, adults, I'm immediately turned off by the site, not encouraged at all to make that purchase. So we want these sites to convert, and that's another strategy that we really talk about with our clients. So we can learn, again, what are your clients looking for? What's that audience really coming to your site and asking of you, so that we can hopefully make that a very easy process too. It's all about easy these days. Life is hard enough. What everyone's going through is most likely hard enough, right? So we want to make this truly easy for the clients that we work with and their clients too. That's what it's really about, and that truly is a success. I mean, that's everything.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I really take a lot of pride in with our team is that we do a great job of teaching people how to think digital,
Sure.
because a conversation like this is very easy for us to have back and forth. It's
Yeah.
two people talking to each other. But when somebody goes to a website, they are literally there's a few seconds that you have to grasp that person's attention and to keep them there. And so teaching people how to tell their story, in every business and every market is a little bit different, but really getting under the hood of that and teaching people how to tell their story and to think digital, it requires massive simplification of what you're used to doing, right? And so I like to say it's very easy to be complicated. It's very complicated to make it easy, right? And so that's what our team is really passionate about guiding people through, is simplifying that whole process from a customer experience standpoint, but also, to your point, from the client experience standpoint. When they arrive on your website, they know exactly what to do to get the answers that they want. They know exactly what to do to get in contact with you. There should be multiple spots where they can do that. So all really great points. So that is all the questions that I had for you today. I think that gives people a really great look inside of what it's like to do business, with a digital marketing company in general, what it should look like, and definitely what it's like, as far as the client experience goes at Lead Revenue. So Miranda and her team do an amazing job of just keeping people informed. And so super proud of the job that you guys do, and really appreciate everything that you do for the customers. And to your point, it's like available at all times really is the approach. And so if you guys are out there and you have any questions about anything, you can find the answers probably at leadrevenue.com. Connect with us on any social platform, and we will be able to direct you to the right place and get you in contact with Miranda or anybody else on the team that is able to answer your questions for you and get you the answers that you need to feel comfortable being in the digital space and getting the results that you're looking for. So with that said, thank you for being here, Miranda. I hope this isn't the last time you join me here.
I know. Yeah. I get used to
It was easier than you thought, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Yes. You do a great job.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate the support. If you found this episode to be helpful, please share it out. It's very easy to do from the podcast platforms, on any of the social platforms that we exist on. And please connect with us. Ask us questions. We are here to be a resource. And until next time, we will see you again for episode 9 very soon of the Digital Contractor Podcast. Thank you guys for being here. See you again.